Hey everybody, and welcome to Video AMA slash podcast number 1. I don't know how often I'm going to be doing these, but I would say probably once a month, and going to go over a couple things. First, I want to thank everyone on Patreon for subscribing and supporting for the past 3 months, and hopefully I'll keep growing Patreon. It really helps me create content and guides and gives me motivation to do that. I'm doing a couple fun projects which I kind of have talked about in the Discord a little bit, but I'm using Patreon money to do that, and I wouldn't really be able to do those projects without it. So again, thank you for everyone that's subscribed and supported me on Patreon. I have 19 patrons so far, and I mean, it's not a lot, but it really does help, and I can't thank you guys enough. So with that out of the way, if you're not familiar with my subreddit and Discord, I would highly suggest that you check those out. I'll have links in the description below. At the top of the subreddit, it's just r/jdm_watt. At the top of the subreddit, there's a Patreon link. There's the second one. And then at the very top, there's the important links with information, link to the Discord, link to the YouTube channel. If you open the Plex server builds, it'll show all of the build advice threads on Plex, on the Plex subreddit. If you click my server specs, you can see the latest iteration of my Plex server setup. This is my entire server rack plus my network, and I just posted this a day ago, so there's been a couple changes, and you can view that at any time by clicking that link. There's my for sale spreadsheet, which I haven't updated, but I will by the end of the week. Most of the stuff should still be for sale on that. But anyway, I haven't updated that recently, but I will a little bit later, so check that out. I don't have an Amazon affiliate link yet. No Twitch. Twitter I don't really use a whole lot. I might in the future, but it's there. And then again, Patreon link. There's also links to the Plex Discord and the Keto subreddit, which I'm a big proponent of. I don't talk a whole lot about here. I might in the future. And then our Keto Discord if you want to join those communities. So in my subreddit, I guess what we're going to be talking about today, I have the video AMA questions here, and I'll try to answer those. But we also have the build complete posts, which if you open the flare, you can see all of the submitted completed builds. And when you complete a build, you get blue build complete flare on the Discord, so you get to stand out. And hopefully you can use some of your knowledge to help newcomers and people that haven't completed their builds yet. So yeah, I mean, the subreddit's not totally active, but I do try to answer any questions and comment on posts there. But it's more of a permanent fixture than the Discord, because as we reach 650 members on the Discord, it just gets really busy. So we'll try to put all the good information, the guides and stuff like that on Reddit, and the Discord's really great for live discussion. If you have questions or you want to help somebody out, that's the best place to go. But it's where I kind of live daily. But yeah, so if you have any questions or anything, feel free to hit me up on Discord or hit any of the moderators or trustworthy, and like the build, anyone that's in build complete, maybe they'll be able to help you out with your build, or if you have any questions. So again, thanks to all the Patreon supporters, everyone in the Discord. We're gonna move on to the Reddit AMA questions, and I'll hop over to voice chat, and we're gonna be in here with Dwell and ManBearPig.
You won't go and get another one at all. So it's
Alrighty, I'm back. I think I got everything
Yo.
the right way.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. What do you
Goodness,
guys-
the CD is still going. It's an hour and 4 minutes.
Hour and 4
Gosh.
minutes to how many tracks are you ripping?
12. Looks like it's erroring at a crap ton though, and I turned up the check quantity or the quality, so it's probably going to take a lot longer.
12 tracks, an hour and a half. You could have listened to the whole at that time.
That's right, but I can't find the CD anywhere else. So
Which one is it?
it's an old Bravery CD.
Oh shit, that's a great.
It's the Sun and the Moon. It's like your second CD. I was like, oh, I need this. I don't have this in my option yet.
Well,
Let's go ahead
actually,
and get that.
That's the first AMA question. Topic is music, and it's what music have you been listening to recently? So
Steve Ranella?
that's not music.
Are we all answering these questions?
You guys can if you want, but I was just gonna say I've been listening to the Tool Pandora radio station. That's just kind of like every day I listen to that. I listen to a lot of hip hop like Kendrick Lamar and Schoolboy Q. I actually haven't been listening to a whole lot lately. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, so music has kind of taken the back burner. What about you guys?
Listening to Galantis, which is like a EDM band. And for some reason, I've been watching shows from Ultra on YouTube that I've been doing. I don't know. One video just plays after the next. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah, my go-to for music on YouTube is a channel called Majestic Casual, and that channel's amazing for just like doing work and listening to music.
Okay.
I like the Rick and Morty 24-hour human music.
Oh God. I can stand about 7 minutes of that, and then I just want to off myself.
No, I did watch the whole 24 hours. Well, listened at least.
God.
Just had it playing in the background.
All right, so next question. What's been your most challenging PC build to date or most problematic? I wouldn't say that there's been any particular one that's been problematic, but the really irritating things, the things that really get to me lately has been like hardware revisions, especially with motherboards. So, for example, like Supermicro 1366 boards, if they're not revision 2 or higher, you can't use 5600 series processors. You have to use 5500 series processors. And part of the problem is that eBay sellers don't really tell you. They don't advertise that information because they don't really know that it's important. And I guess the other frustrating thing is, I guess another example of that would be the 2011 socket where it's not revision 2.0. There's no specific revision that allows you to use V2 E5 series processors. It depends on the actual board itself. So some version 1.0s let you use it. Some version 1.1s or 1.2s let you use it. It really just depends on the model of the board. So unfortunately, none of that's documented even on Supermicro's site. It's just kind of a trial and error thing. But yeah, I would say that's frustrating.
Your lack of documentation disturbs me.
And
Supermicro.
They only have documentation on the I know this is going to trigger ManBearPig. They only have documentation on the latest model, whatever that is. They don't have any documentation on earlier ones. So
doesn't look like anything to me.
Whenever they add a new revision, they just blow out all the other information and just only have information on the latest revision.
Yeah, I've noticed that on their sites. Like, what about this older one?
Nope, it's ghost. It doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a frustrating thing to deal with, but if you know what you're looking for, it's I guess it's really easy to deal with. But yeah.
Moral of the story: ask questions.
Yeah. And I guess the most problematic. Some of you have seen me complain about this, but at times I really enjoy my server rack, but at other times a huge pain in the ass. It's loud. It's extremely heavy. It's got to weigh well over 600 pounds as configured. It also makes my garage very warm, and sliding the servers in and out is
my way for the winter.
Yeah, you could heat your entire house with it.
Pretty much.
I mean, like this morning I woke up and it was 41 degrees outside, and my garage, which is not insulated at all, it had to have been like 89 degrees inside.
Gosh. The first world problem when the snow on your house melts off your garage, but not the rest of your house.
Oh, totally! It totally happens. There's a good 2 feet in front of the garage door, which just doesn't ice over.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I knew what snow looked like.
I
wish I did.
If it snows before I move out of this place, then I will definitely take a video of that because it looks hilarious.
That's good. And I can't rack mount anything in my garage because it'll rust, and then the garage would be about 100 to 110 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, like
pretty bad.
It gets unbearable when it's like 90 degrees out. I mean, like all night last night, my stuff was idling. Like my E5 processors were idling at like 48 Celsius.
Jesus.
So, yeah, I mean when it's like 90 degrees out and you go in the garage, you're just like, all right, it's not a place I want to be. So yeah, that's I would call problematic. Next question: are you team red blue / red green? Which I asked a follow up was, do you mean AMD Intel / AMD Nvidia? I would say I'm generally Intel / Nvidia, mostly because of Intel Xeons. Ryzen's great for consumer desktops. I'm not sold on it as a server platform. It's my problem with it is that it's really expensive for DDR4. If they had Ryzen with DDR3, I would be all over it. But yeah, I mean DDR4 is just stupidly expensive. It's like 16 gig, I think, starts around $110, and that's not even DDR4 ECC.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean that would be my problem there. I mean ATI, like video. I mean, you know what used to be ATI. I guess AMD video cards now. Like the RX 480, 580. They're good. I mean, they're serviceable cards. It's just not my preference. I mean, if there's a good deal on one, I'll buy one. Like I just bought an R7 360 the other day, and it was only, I don't know, it was like $60 after rebate or something like that. But it's not my go-to.
Yeah, they tend to use a little more power too, which minor details, but.
I mean, they use more power, put out a little bit more heat. The driver support, in my opinion, is not as good. But like, yeah, I mean, I recognize good value when I see it, so it's not like I have anything against them.
Gotten better for sure.
Huh?
They've gotten a whole lot better for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was using a Radeon HD 4870 X2 back in the day. That thing was.
My laptop time. 6550M. AMD.
Yeah. And speaking of I was mentioned used Xeons. The used AMD Opteron market is hilariously bad. You either find stuff that's really, really cheap and no motherboard support for it, because there really isn't a whole lot of desktop / workstation Opteron style boards, or you find stuff that's really expensive and there's a ton of support for it, but either way you cut it, some of the like 16 core Opterons and stuff, they're extremely power hungry and not very efficient. So yeah, it's just I've explored that and tried to see if there's anything worthwhile there, but there really isn't, at least not right now. Do either of you use Plex TV /DVR?
No.
The question is, it seems Plex Live TV DVR needs to transcode from MPEG 2 for Roku. It seems it does for the browser app through my PC. Can play the recorded file fine without transcoding. I don't know what that means. What can I do to make the initial delay of selecting an over-the-air channel to be faster? Channel changing live TV is horribly long. Moments of silence in my house. I really don't know. If it's transcoding,
everything.
Go ahead.
Yeah, from everything I've read, anything OTA is just transcoding.
So like normal transcoding rules would apply, right?
I think so. Like if you're watching something live TV over the air, it's just transcoding. That's how I understand it, from what I remember at least. It might have changed. I don't know.
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's just assume it's regular transcoding. The best way to reduce the delay would be high clock speed plus high amount of cores. So something like dual X5667 has high clock speed. You'd have 8 cores plus, with an additional 8 threads. So 8 core, 16 thread. That would be a good start. And I couldn't imagine that you would need anything more than that to improve your setup. So those aren't very expensive, and we actually have a hardware deal later that I'll go over, and those are actually on sale right now. Software question: what are your must-haves to go with your setup, i.e., organizer or PlexPi? For me,
PlexPi.
Yeah, PlexPi. I use allegedly Sonar, Radar, Hyper-V if you're using Windows. Hyper-V is awesome. I like Ubiquity, which is like a comic reader / PDF reader. It's like a server, kind of like Plex, but you don't have to log in. It's just a direct thing. That's pretty neat. Handbrake's always good to have if you want to convert a file to a playable format.
I don't use Organizer specifically. I use MuxiMux, which is kind of the same thing.
Say again, you cut out?
It's called MuxiMux. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but what it does is, you make tabs for PlexPi, Plex, my Unraid web interface, and it makes it to where I don't have to have a browser tab for all of them.
Okay, so you just
like it's one URL, and then it has tabs for all these ports, basically.
Sure.
That's kind of what Organizer does from when I've looked at it. It's just a different look about it. That's what I use on top of those, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't use a whole lot outside of Plex. I try to use Plex for everything that I can. So I don't even use Handbrake that much. If I need a file that's in like 265, I'll just use the built-in optimizer. But ManBearPig, do you have any additions to that?
Allegedly, I use all kinds of crazy shit.
Pull that question back up again. Anything like FileBot, like
I do
standalone
use
software, like something like that, maybe would be a good recommendation.
Yeah, FileBot's all right. I still use the I use the naming profiles in Sonar and Radar, and that takes care of it for me. I don't even have to worry about FileBot.
I use from Tailshocker. I use Picard for music tagging, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're into
like doing the tags and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right. I use iTunes for music, and him and I had a long back and forth about that. But I honestly just don't care about my music enough. I care that it sounds good when I listen to it. So I dump all the music into iTunes. iTunes organizes it, and then I just point Plex at the directory, the music directory, and then it works. So
it works. That's all you need.
the less hands-on I have to be with anything, the better. And that was my solution to that.
I agree.
And if people don't use Sonar or Radar, FileBot is great for renaming.
Yeah, I can understand if people don't need Sonar or Radar, but I don't understand people that use FileBot in addition to Sonar and Radar.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me either.
I mean, it's a good tool to have on hand just in case, but it's not like my primary. I don't know that I've even opened it in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then obviously like what make MKV, and for actual files, that kind of stuff too.
I used that when I had a Blu-ray drive in my unracked server, but now that I'm racked, I don't have a Blu-ray drive anymore. So
yeah.
I've already done my entire Blu-ray collection.
Yeah, I've sat through all the encoding. It was a fun time.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Super fun.
Encoding.
That was like the most hands-on thing I've done in a while.
I agree. Yeah, same here for sure.
Like babysitting it, it's terrible. Let's see. Jacket is good if you use torrents. It's nice to have if you use torrents plus Sonar and Radar. Yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, which means I probably don't use much else.
I was looking through the Unraid Dockers to get some ideas too.
And
one that jumps out, JDownloader or YouTube-DL.
That's
stuff from YouTube.
That's a Docker?
JDownloader 2 is. YouTube DL is not.
Yeah,
I was gonna say YouTube DL on a Docker. That's
yeah,
seems
JDownloader is like an alternative to it.
Okay.
It's really all that's jumping out. I mean, we've talked about all the major ones, I think.
Yeah. All right. Another Plex DVR says to make the Plex DVR recording easier for fast forward rewind, and think about setting up some sort of transcode operation that occurs outside of Plex, and then copies into the Plex directory for this type of thing. What type of hardware setup would be best? Dual CPUs, high cores, high threads, etc. I mean, I think that just standard Plex transcoder rules are going to apply. Like you can just throw passmark at it, like high amounts of passmark score at it, and it'll be fine. I don't think that it's necessary to have like a batch transcode thing, or I don't know how.
But you don't want to transcode it if you're not using it too.
Well, he's talking about DVR and TV, so
I think that's pretty much just limited to how Plex has it set up, how they work it. Really.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's going to be some inherent limitations. So throwing more power at it will only do so much. But you can do things like add more cores, add more clock speed, put everything in, put the directories on an SSD or on a RAM drive. Like minor things like that, not minor things, but things like that will give you better performance, but I'm not sure in the scope of Plex DVR how much performance it will give you, because that's not something I use. But those things surely won't hurt. What are some of the best places to dig around when first being introduced to the software behind automation of adding movies, etc. to Plex? Kind of went over that earlier. I would say Radar, Sonar, good tools to help you get started with that. Go ahead.
I noticed when I started the Tool Tuesday threads in Plex, subreddit.
Oh, yeah.
Those are always really good resources, I think. When it gets down to like I'm looking at the Plex Together one, where there's a ton of just information about it, and you can just search a tag you can do the flare, can't you? Yeah, for featured tool.
Have we had a Tool Tuesday in a while? It's been a while.
Oh, it's been a long time.
April 18th is the last one. It was Plex Together. Yeah.
So if you go to the Plex subreddit, and at the very top it says latest regular threads, you can click Tool Tuesday. And then if you click the Flare featured tool there, you can see all the Tool Tuesday threads. There's PlexPy, WebTools, SickRage, Sonar, Catch Potato, PlexRequest.net, FileBot, Tracked, OpenPHT, Headphones, Nginx, all kinds of stuff. Oh, Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to add that to my list right now to set that back up.
So yeah, these are all like guides, how-tos. There's a lot of question and answer in the comments.
And normally they get the creator in there too. I think so.
A lot of times we try to.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah. Because I know the guy from Plex Together is in the Plex Discord, that kind of stuff. I think he even probably has his own. Most of those do.
Right.
Yeah, he does have his own. We talk to him quite often, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I feel like there's a fracture in the Plex community where the devs of all these tools and supporting mods and plugins and things like that, they all talk to each other and they talk to the users. But there's literally almost no communication between the users and that group and the actual Plex devs or anyone from the Plex team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you put the entire city of New York next to, I don't know, another city in New York, like Buffalo, and then you connect them with like a wooden bridge that's like you can fit one dude across, and like they're gigantic, and there's a ton of people in the Plex team, but there's just no communication.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I would say try the Tool Tuesday threads. There's always people talking about this, whether it's in my Discord or in the Plex Discord. The next question: how does the wife/girlfriend approval factor play into the choices of your hardware? Does she try to keep it contained to your workshop, or has she given up hope? Well, A, there's no workshop. B, as so long as I don't mess with the clients, I'm pretty good. C, she's absolutely wonderful and she totally supports me and she knows I always have stuff going on, so I thank her very much for that. Yeah, but there's times where like
hope it's lost.
Definitely not. Yeah, I mean, there's times where like I go downstairs, like I made that server tour in the dark video, and it was all of 20 minutes that I was down there. And of course, she texts me and she's like, "Well, when are you coming back upstairs?" And also, Plex isn't working. I'm like, A, I know. B, I don't want to be in this hot ass garage. And like, yeah, I'm coming, but I'm in the middle of doing something. So, it's just things like that. But yeah, I mean, it's the wife approval factor thing. It's a huge deal to a lot of people, and that's kind of why I recommend to stay unracked. It's a lot easier to manage and move around. My server rack, for example, has to be in the garage. That thing is not making it into the house, and I don't even think it'll clear the doorways. On top of that, it's heavy as hell, and I don't think that my wood floors would appreciate it very much. So that's just one example. What about you guys?
My wife has final approval, and what pushed her over the edge was Noctua fans, since mine is like out in the open. I had those. What are those? The 1366 stock Intel coolers, the ones with the P and the Q switch on them.
Oh yeah,
that
the
doesn't.
980X coolers.
Yeah, they're sitting right up. They're windowsill ornaments right now because they're way too loud. But
Even on
yeah,
quiet
you're
mode,
right.
they're too loud.
Yeah, it was noticeable because mine, the way my house is situated, like I'm in a hallway off the kitchen, and the TV and the living room and the kitchen are one room, so you could hear it. There's no closed doors between me and the. But I would say, yeah, being unracked versus racked is definitely affects that decision because, like you said, yours is in the garage, so it's kind of separate from everything. But if it has to be like next to the TV, then that changes.
I can
changes
still
everything.
hear my rack with the TV off. It's like it's not that loud, but it's just that type of noise where you can still hear it. And like if you're in the basement room next to it, I mean it's definitely audible. So it's kind of a pain. In the new place, it should be much nicer. I'm gonna have a double garage, and the location will just be better. But yeah, it's definitely one of my I'm very like 50-50 about it. I have a lot of regrets, but there's a lot of things that I don't have to worry about because it's racked. So I think in the long term, I'll just try to improve the rack mount setup. I'll probably go to like a 20U rack instead of a 42.
Yeah.
Try to replace all the fans and stuff like that. But
yeah, my server currently has 5 Noctua fans and dual H55s.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make too much noise at all, which is really nice.
I think
I still get the same text too. Hey, Plex isn't working. What are you doing?
Yup. And it's like almost instant. It's like 3 seconds, and you know.
Yeah.
I think the wife approval factor would be a lot lower if they knew how much money went into everything.
That's it. Completely agree.
It's like you can have some idea because you see a lot of like parts coming in and out, but like I don't even want to sit down and tally everything. And
I tried to, and I got really depressed. I was like, "Oh no, I'm not doing this." I'm gonna make a Google spreadsheet. Nope. Let's stop while I'm ahead.
Not to mention like the MSRP of everything. Like, oh my God. Yeah, like I think a single like E5 2650 is like it's like 1800 MSRP or something when it came out.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Well, that's what you use to get approval. Is you say MSRP, it was 1800. I can get it for $50 a pair.
Right. Yeah.
And then instant yes.
It's like, but that's only how much I paid. It's like, yes, but how many of them do you have? Well, I have 8 pairs of them. Oh, well. So yeah. Anyway, didn't have a whole lot of questions, but I feel like we sufficiently answered them.
I feel like that sample question was pretty good. That first one.
What do you think of Ryzen? Well, I did talk about it a little bit, and ManBearPig has a nice little response to it. But I think it's promising. It's something that I definitely like. 3 years from now, I could see myself picking up a Ryzen system and using it as a server. But
DDR4 is just so expensive right now.
It really is. Without that much performance gain from 3.
I think something that's analogous to this is like the constant questions we always get about SSDs. So like someone said like, I need an SSD for my server, and so we ask, what size do you want? And they say, oh, I don't know, 250 or 500. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll pick a 500. And then the first thing that someone links is a 500 Samsung Evo. And I'm like, all right, if you put that in your server,
isn't it?
No, just bought a.
I was literally about to buy a 500 gig Evo.
Okay, well,
when you weren't in here, I was about to buy one.
Here's my thoughts on it. If you put a 500 gig Samsung Evo and you're accessing your server through gigabit Ethernet, or something is just like, I don't know, you're using it as a cache drive or using it as Plex metadata. If you put a 500 gig Evo in there, or if you put a, I don't know, 500 gig Crucial or a 500 gig Silicon Power, will you actually know the difference, or is it just going to weigh on your conscience that it's not an Evo? And
you're not going to know the difference.
You're not going to know the difference. Like I could let someone remote into a server and it'll have an SSD in it and they'll use it and say like, wow, it's nice. It's got a 500 gig of SSD storage. But like you couldn't tell it apart from an Evo just by using it or by like browsing through Plex shows or literally anything you do. You will not be able to tell the difference. So why are you spending like $50 more? Yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of how I feel about Ryzen. Like, I feel like you could get the same performance for a lot less. Yes, it might be a little bit more power hungry, but will you ever make up the power difference? The cost? No, probably not. And you'll have 8 times the RAM for the same amount of money. So yeah, it's just like one of those things. Will you actually notice the difference, or will someone that's 8 states away trying to stream at like 4 megabit per second, 720, will they know that you have a Ryzen versus like dual L56 40s? No, they won't know, and they won't care.
Well, I took that SSD out of my cart. back to square one again.
Now you want me to look at? Now I want to see what actual 500 gig SSDs.
We got 160 for an Evo, 500 and 150 for a Crucial.
Yeah, like it's $10. I mean, or 150 for a SanDisk Ultra, or 145 for a Mushkin reactor. I mean, like.
But my Evos, well, I don't have Evos anymore.
I mean, you could buy a lot of Big Macs for $15. I mean, that's a lot of McDoubles. Like
that's a lot of.
Comparing SSDs to Big Macs.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, you won't notice.
And I know
the
this is probably and I guess like the counterpoint to that is, does the price difference of an Evo being more expensive give you more reliability down the road since it's an Evo?
You could never. Okay. Where are you getting the idea that the Evo is more reliable in the first place?
No, I'm just saying that is an argument. That's not me saying that.
It is an argument, but
hypothetically, that's not me saying that.
But realistically, you could never prove it. And realistically, the failure rates between that and a Crucial or that and a SanDisk are the same. Now, if it's rated to write more, that's different. Then maybe. But like, you're never going to hit the write limit anyway.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're 24/7 writing and reading from the drive, you're never going to hit the write limit. So, yeah, it's just like one of those things. It's a server. It's going to sit in my garage. Do I really care that it's a Samsung Evo? No, I really don't.
Oh, Build a PC Sales has 500 gig for $140.
What is it?
SK brand? Never heard of it.
Okay, see that's where I would draw the line. I would say like, okay, spend $5 and get a Mushkin, like because they're a memory company. They actually make good things.
Didn't say it was a good deal. Just
Hey, okay. Speaking of which, there's a Silicon Power 480 gig for 138 on Amazon right now.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because I was in that debate before, the 250 versus 500.
Well, see,
I had that debate
totally
for a long time too.
That's totally a different debate altogether. I mean, that's just like a, price to capacity debate, but you know, with like things, I don't know. I just couldn't justify spending $22 more on something that's essentially the same size. Anyway.
It is right there. Okay, add to cart. I'll think about it. My problem is I have unraid, so every time I write something to the array, it has to write in 2 different spots.
Oh yeah, I would definitely get the biggest one you could then.
Yeah, that's my.
Or
that's why I'm getting 500 for sure, because I want to do, app data. I want to do everything on that. App data, VMs, Dockers, and then cache as well.
Or what I would do is write all of your. Okay, I would get like a 250. Use that exclusively, not for a cache drive, but for everything you want to do, like VMs, Docker, whatever. And then just pump as much RAM as you can into the system.
Because you got to quit posting these RAM deals for real. You got to stop that. Because I almost bought 6 8-gig sticks, and then you posted that one 16-gig stick deal, and I'm like, goodness gracious.
Well, okay.
I'm going to be buying RAM.
The RAM is a write cache for Unraid too. So when you add more RAM, that gives you more space as a write cache.
Yeah, that's true.
But
if I spend 140 on SSD and I do everything, oh sorry, I hit my mic.
That's right.
Or I can get the SSD for 150 flat and do everything. Or if I have to do a 250 SSD and then RAM, it's more money out of my pocket off the bat.
True, but you would never have to invoke a mover, and you wouldn't have to worry about, like, am I writing too many files at one time for the mover, or is my cache full? Like, things like that. You could have like a 120 SSD just for your VMs and whatever.
And if I'm being honest with myself, my media ingestion it doesn't demand an SSD cache. It really doesn't. It's media. It just, once it's there, it sits there.
Yeah, but even if it did, I would still say max out your RAM first and then decide if you need a cache.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm almost tempted to get smaller SSD, like a 120 or something, or 250 max, because my media ingestion, there's no reason for a cache. I would use it more for the Dockers and the VMs.
I mean, if you ingest, like a Blu-ray at a time, what's a Blu-ray? It's like between 30 and 40 gig, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you had 48 gig of RAM and say you had, I don't know, 8 or 10 gig of overhead for VMs and whatnot, that's like 38 gig of, write cache basically. So you could almost.
And that's the high end of stuff too.
Right. So to me, I would just say like max out your RAM. Like that's what we do in FreeNAS. It's before you get an L2 ARC or a ZIL, you max out your RAM and then see if you need it.
Okay, so I'm taking this SSD back out of my again that I just put in there, and I'm going to eBay.
I do have a couple links. So this is actually a good transition for us to talk about hardware deals. The AMA
goodness.
The AMA links channel, you should have some.
Yep.
Literally the first deal is 2 16 gig sticks of RAM.
Well, I remember you posted that one the other day where it was like a single stick for like $29, was it?
Yeah. It was
I should have
28 or something like that.
Yeah.
They're all gone.
Well, and I noticed, have you gotten them yet? Did you buy some?
No, I bought a totally different deal that I told no one about because there was only 2 left, and I put an offer in on both.
Okay.
I got 2 4-stick kits of 16 gig. It's only 1066, but I paid $210 for 8 16 gig sticks.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, 128 gig for $210? Hell yeah. I am all over that. So I didn't really care. It was only 1066. Doesn't matter to me. Again, it's going into FreeNAS. Will I notice the difference between 1066 and 1333? I won't notice the difference. Obviously, 1333 is better. But ultimately, will it matter or will I notice? No.
No, you won't notice.
Yeah, exactly. So first deal I have 32 gig, 2x 16 gig sticks, 1333 ECC registered. It's PC3L low power. It's 1.35 volts. So make sure your motherboard supports it. It's $79.99 plus $8, so $88 including shipping. If you pay that price, it's our best offer. I bet the guy would probably take 80 shipped or 75 shipped, maybe on the lower end. There's 9 available, 22 sold. This is going to sell out really, really fast.
I'm going to need you to delete this link from Discord. So nobody else can get it. While I get approval.
You have what board do you have?
I have a X8 DTL-3F Rev 2.01.
And
I'm looking at the manual right now.
How many sticks do you have?
It's got 6 DIMMs.
Right, but how many sticks do you have actually in it?
Oh, I've got 6. I've got 24 gigs, 6 4-gig sticks.
Oh, okay. So you would be going through and replacing your.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I think I've got a coworker that wants to build one of these servers.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
you'd probably just have to replace all of them because I doubt the 4 gigs you have are PC3L.
let me pull up. I've got the eBay history up right now.
Anyway, so that's deal number 1. Deal number 2, I actually just bought one of these for myself. It's an Asus Vivo stick. It's got an Intel Atom Z83. Well, it's an X5 Z8350 with Intel HD 400 graphics, which means it has quick sync. You can do the infamous hardware transcoding on this stick if you want. It's USB powered. It takes about 10 watts at maximum. Super power efficient. Gets about 1400 pass mark. So it's not that fast, but it is quad core. It does have 2 gig of RAM and 32 gig storage, but a lightweight, low power server or just general use. Seller's asking 105. I submitted an offer at 85 and he took it instantly. So I bet you could probably even get a better offer than that. I think these things are pretty awesome. There's a lot you can do with them. But yeah, it's a pretty neat little item. Next one. So there's not a whole lot of 1366 deals right now, but this is a Supermicro X8 DTI-F, EATX, 12 DIMMs, dual E5620 included for only 110 plus 10 shipping, so $120. No best offer, unfortunately. But you would
So
have
there's only 2 left.
Yep, 2 available, 48 sold. Holy moly. It does have IPMI. And
That's the dash F, right?
yeah,
You said that before.
F means it has IPMI.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a pretty good deal. I'm sure it might even be sold out by the time this video is posted. But you would need a Fantex Enthoo Pro, Enthoo Primo, or basically any SSI EEB case. It's just regular EATX size, but with different standoffs. It's not SSI EEB Plus, but it's still a big board. So that's the first deal. Second one, it's not really a deal, but kind of the only option right now if you want an X8 DTL. It's an X8 DTL-IF with dual E5620 and does include an I/O shield. Has IPMI. It's 120 shipped. No best offer. And looks like there's 10 of those available with 8 sold. I've never bought from the seller, but they have almost 15,000 positive feedback, so I don't think it'll be a problem. Next is my deal that everyone laughed at, and I'm not really sure why. Supermicro X8 DTI workstation includes a case, dual E5620, and 48 gig of RAM with power supply, CPU coolers, like literally everything you need to get started. For 150 plus 45 shipping or best offer. And there's 10 available. Has ESXi installed, but you don't have to use that. I mean, 48 gig of RAM on an X8 DTI means that it has what's 48 divided by 6? 8.
8.
Right? Yeah, I'm smart. So 6 8 gig.
Just edit that part out.
No edits, man. 6 8 gig sticks. That's pretty good. That's decent density. I don't expect that it has 16 gig sticks because they only have 3, which wouldn't make sense with dual CPU. So I bet it's 6 by 8. So that's not bad. 6 8 gig sticks is 6 8 gig. That alone is $121 at lowest. So if you're getting this whole thing for 150, or well, I guess 195 including shipping, that's a hell of a deal. And I don't understand why people aren't buying this thing. So anyway.
Is there any revision number about the motherboard that comes with it?
I would assume that it's revision 2 or higher because it comes with dual E5620.
Okay.
And if for whatever reason they throw it in there and it doesn't work, that's on them, and they have to take care of it because they're advertising it as is. It's Mr. Rackables, so I they're great.
Oh, they're good.
They're amazing. So yeah.
I love the case. I think that's probably what turns a lot of people away. But the case is pretty awesome.
That case is dank. Also, if it has that bay converter in the front, if it comes with that, that's a steal.
Bacon?
Huh?
Yeah, there's a 5 1/4 to 3 1/2 bay.
It's dual 5 1/4 to triple 3 1/2 that's pictured.
Yeah. You can just plug an IBM Model M into the front of that thing.
Dude, you get a floppy
Man, we
drive?
in business. You do.
Yeah, so that's one of the better deals I've seen around, at least recently. The thing's awesome. Yeah. Well, it says 3 bay. It says X8 GTI 3 bay. So I don't know if that's internal 3 or the 3 that's pictured there.
I bet it's a 3 pictured.
Oh, I hope so. Because then you can just throw that case away and keep the bay converter.
Yeah.
And use the bay converter in like a Cooler Master N400.
I see that case name dropped all the time here.
Yeah, it's a little popular. It's kind of a good case. I mean, okay, that case, the N400 has 8 bays native plus what? I think it's 2 5 1/4. So
yes.
You could drop that bay converter right in, you'd have 11 bays. I don't even most motherboards don't even have that many SATA ports, so you'd have to get a controller for that. Next thing I have up on hardware deals, 32 gig. Oh my god, it's sold out. Okay, disregard. It was a 4x8 gig for $70, which I thought was a decent deal.
I think I paid for my 24 gigs. I think I paid $55 on my eBay stuff now. That's a really good deal.
Yeah.
I paid.
This is
$55.
Gonna go
6x4.
6x4. Oh yeah, and that's lower density too. So I would expect that price for like 3x8 I don't think he got ripped off, but I guess it's kind of like an average price. Next deal, Ubiquiti Networks, AP ACLR, AC Pro, and AC Lite. They're all on sale still. It just says end soon. I don't know what that means. ManBearPig, do you know what the LR and the lights are on sale for?
On that Newegg link right now.
Yeah, because it doesn't show me the sale price. It just shows the normal plus the promo. I know the AC Pro is on sale for $117 after promo.
Yep, if I remember right, the LR was $90, and I think the light was $75-ish, somewhere around there.
Did you have it posted in the tech deals?
Yeah.
Okay, let me look.
That's right. You did put a screenshot of the promo code too. That's right.
It says APLR is 85, and oh, it went down. Okay, anyway, so long story short, Ubiquiti's on sale at Newegg. Buy that. They're amazing. If you have questions about it, ask in Discord. They're freaking awesome. Fix your Wi-Fi at home.
Do we all have the different... I have an LR at the house here.
What I got.
I have two Pros.
And I know somebody who has multiple lights that work perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, they're all great.
They really are.
Buy the best one that you can afford, and then later, if you need more, buy the best one you can afford again, and then you can mix and match.
Oh, for sure. They're fantastic. They really are.
All right. Next deal, LSI 920116E for $28, free shipping or best offer. If you want to make a DAS or you want to make a just some sort of external storage, or even if you just want to take the 16E and reroute the cables back into your case. I mean, you can't get a 16-port SAS card for anywhere close to $28 normally, so this is awesome. It's SAS 2, which is equivalent to SATA 3, 6 gigabit per second. It's great. More than 10 available. I bet they have like 1 million of these in stock.
Probably.
Yeah. I tried to find a good deal on the like an 8i or something. There was just nothing. No good deals right now on that. There's a freaking amazing deal on the X9 SRA. I actually have one of these in my FreeNAS box. It's a single socket 2011 with 8 DIMMs. Seller's asking $200 with 11 and a quarter shipping or best offer. So I bet you could get that for $200 shipped or even less. Best way to get into the 2011 game if you want. It's just an awesome board. Really, really good board. Should support version 2 processors as well.
Only 4 left.
I mean, you can't touch 2011 for $200 normally. It's normally 300 on up.
That giant board that comes with 2630s is 300 with those.
Yeah, and the 2630s are like throwaway. So, I mean, they're
they're $20 for a pair.
Yeah, so that's 280, and even then you're into the gigantic case scene. This guy's ATX. It actually has USB 3 onboard with audio, so it's like a workstation board. But it does support DDR3 UCC and all that. I would really like to put a E5 2696 V2 in here and just have like a single socket 12 core.
Yeah.
I might do that to the one I have actually. We'll see.
Because why not?
Well, onboard 3.0 is nice for that board.
Yeah, it has an onboard 3.0 header as well, not only
nice.
the rear.
Oh, really? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's...
It's just a,
might be building a computer pretty soon.
It's got if I recall correctly, it's dual 16x PCIe as well.
So what you're saying is I could SLI to GTX 760s?
I don't think it supports SLI.
Don't. Yeah, it's two PCI Express X16s.
Yep. And 2 X4s and X8 slots, which, whatever.
Yeah.
Up to 512 gig LRDIMM, up to 256 ECC RDIMM, 64 gig non-ECC. Has 2 SATA 3, 8 SATA 2 on board, so 10 SATA on board.
No IPMI though.
Yep, no IPMI. It's one of Supermicro's like workstation type boards, so none of them have IPMI unfortunately. But honestly, for $200 in 2011, that's a hot deal. It's a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta stop it with these hot deals.
It's a sexy deal.
I can't take it.
I have a hilarious deal. Supermicro X9 QRI-F quad LGA 2011 board for $479. You'd have to use E5 4600 series processors or 4600 V2. This is just a hilarious motherboard. I think
you get it for 12 payments of $43 though.
You would definitely have to use like you definitely have to use like at least a 600 watt with dual EPS, and then use a splitter for those dual EPS.
Oh gosh!
It requires 4 EPS. Each processor has 8 DIMMs.
Holy crap!
Or no, I'm sorry. 2 of the processors have 8 DIMMs, and 2 of the processors have 4 DIMMs.
Supports up to 768 gigs of 6.
I think it supports more of DDR3L. I'm gonna actually just look it up on Supermicro's site because I don't trust.
That's what I'm looking at right now. That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just 768 gig of RDIMM, which is hilarious.
7x PCI 3.0 16s.
Yeah. So anyway, for those of you that want to transcode something sometime, you can buy this, and we will all gawk at you, and then start laughing because it's hilarious.
How much are those processors?
E5 40.
Goodness, there we go.
I forget what the entry level ones are.
The 4620s? Oh no.
Oh, you can get like something like the 4603, which is just really entry level.
Yeah.
I think it's like only 4 cores.
You could get 4 of those processors though.
Yeah, I wonder what like a 4650 would be. It's not terrible. $120.
It's
one?
not.
Is that
If
one
you
or
already-
a pair?
It looks like it's single. Wait, there's a bid for 130 with a buy it now of 200
Yeah, I see that.
for a pair. I mean,
But then you can have 4 8-core processors, so that'd be 32 cores and 64 threads.
well, and you could just buy 2 and wait for the next 2 to go on sale. You can definitely grow into it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I there's no amount of us talking about this that will ever justify this purchase. like even for me. So
We're
yeah,
just
we'll move on.
I could justify it, but I would never get approval. We'll just say that.
Yep. Supermicro X8 DTH-6F. So it has IPMI and LSI 2008 SAS on board with freaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PCI Express X16 physical.
Ooh.
I think
Yeah,
a couple of those are just X8, but in the 16 slot.
but
Or am I wrong?
ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, even so.
yeah. With
They're all 7 of them are X8 and 16 slots.
Oh, I was right for once.
You were.
yeah, I mean, because there's only so many PCI Express lanes that each processor can, put
Oh,
out.
yeah.
And like especially because it's 1366, it's not 2011. But yeah, either way, still a freaking awesome board. 12 DIMMs. It comes with E5630s, and it comes with rack mount heatsink, so you'd have to replace them. But it's SSI EB, so you'd have to use an N2 Pro or something like that. And it's got 6 SATA 2 on board. And like I said, LSI SAS, so you'd have 8 SATA 3, so 14 SATA on board. I don't think it's like a particularly stellar deal, but for $225, you get an integrated LSI, you get processors and a hell of a board.
A lot of room to expand for sure.
Yeah, definitely a lot of room to expand. And it does have IPMI, so that's pretty cool. There's only 3 available.
And it comes with an IO shield. It's the sweetener right there.
Oh shit. Pair of Intel Xeon X5667s, $25, free shipping. Pretty self-explanatory. Quad core. I think they're 3.46 or 3.6 turbo. Great processors, good alternative to L5640. And then I think a really good deal is pair of X5660 hex core processors, 6-core processors, for $48 or best offer, free shipping. You really can't beat that because they're almost as fast as X5670s, and those are normally like 35 a piece. So less than
All these. This would be a fantastic upgrade for 5640s. Come on. This is what I have. You're baiting me to buy something again.
Oh, I would still stick with the L5640s, but like if you don't have processors or you're upgrading from like E5620 or 5630, X5660 would be a great thing for less than $50.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's what I paid for mine. I'm pulling up my eBay.
I thought you paid
Paid
like
$48 for my pair of 5640s.
Damn, when was that?
When? April 28th.
Okay. Yeah, they've dropped to under 30 now.
Oh gosh. I built my computer when you posted the 350 guide originally. That's when I built.
Right. Yeah. So, hey, Bird of Night, I don't know if you've been here for a long time or not.
I just joined a couple minutes ago.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Oh, hey.
That stealth drone.
Okay, now let me price out all this RAM and SSD. Goodness.
So that's
I'm
all.
wondering if I should fill the DIMMs or not. I think I should fill all 6.
I don't know, man. I would start with. Oh wait, with 16 gig?
Yeah, the 2x16, the first link.
Boy, you crazy. Also, does your board support PC3L?
That's a good question. I would be the one to buy something that doesn't work.
Hey, you gotta post a picture of your I guess like an
of my
update.
build.
Yeah, whenever you, because you changed a bunch on it, right?
Yeah, I really did. Yeah, I'll do that. I have old pictures, but I need to take new ones. Yeah,
It's all good.
I have no. Where does it list the support for?
It doesn't support it.
Okay, never mind then. Perfect.
Solve that problem for me.
Yeah, solve that problem for real.
Unless I'm about to unsolve that.
Oh gosh. Hurry up and buy the SSD and check out, and that's it. That's all you can spend the day.
Whoa. Somebody just came in and undercut everyone.
Mhm.
On what?
Hynix HP 32 gig kit. It's only 1066, but it's $80 was only $650 shipping, and it's not PC3L.
Oh damn it, JDM. If I was free and clear on purchases.
Always blame
Send
JDM.
me a link for it if you don't mind. I'll look at it.
It's one of the mail links, isn't it?
I just put it in general. All right, well, I'm going to stick around and chat, but I'm going to conclude this video recording just because I'm running out of battery and I forgot my charger at home. Actually,
Oh, good job.
yeah, I'll just cut it short now. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Sorry, I was late.
It's all good.